Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's dive into the latest news I have for you today. So, in my previous video, I talked a lot about what Marcus Williams had said about the Ravens, how the Ravens communication just isn't there from the top down. And that's what, why he failed last season, or a majority of the reason why he was not good last season and he got benched. He also didn't also blamed himself a little bit that he, got lost on a few plays. I'm like, here, and I've mentioned in the last video that there were a few that that is invalid, like the communication from the top down, because the Ravens have consistently had coaches in the past that are willing to help out the players and have graded pretty well on the offseason surveys. So I don't think this is true. I just think he just couldn't get it, and he wanted out anyway. He just wanted to go somewhere else, and he just wasn't willing to contribute. So he also doubled down on this take, and I'm going to read a quote from him. He said, and I love the fact that all these former Ravens want to go to the Steelers. Patrick Queen went to the Steelers, Malik Harrison went to the Steelers, and they, crapped on the Ravens. And, while they are good in their own way on the new team that they're on, they aren't the player they used to be when they were on the Ravens. Patrick Queen is a perfect example. When Queen was on the Ravens, when he was next to Roquan Smith, it was the best linebacker duo in the NFL, hands down. There's nothing else that I can really say about that. There's no real other argument to be said. When Patrick Queen was next to Roquan Smith, especially under Mike McDonald's defensive schemes, there was just no way to stop them. They were the dynamic duo pretty much. Then he went to the Steelers, crapped on the Ravens, and how the contract process went, how the coaching was, and it's just But again, it's a rivalry game, so you have to build the rivalry still, and add popcorn to those rivalry games. Anyway, so he said, and quote, Marcus Williams, "I'd rather join the Steelers and ride the bench than go back to Baltimore and start. Seeing my former teammates embraced in Pittsburgh makes me want to be there more than ever." Bro, weren't benched because you're a bad, you weren't benched because of some dumb reasoning behind communication or anything like that. You were benched because you got lost in coverage consistently and you just could not get it in coverage or anything like that. So my thing is that when it comes down to stuff like this, I know what he's trying to do. He's just trying to stir the pot, make it seem like that, he wants to become a Steeler, hint at it, so he gets to play his old team twice a season. If you want to ride the bench, go ahead. But the film is there. The film does not lie about you getting lost in coverage consistently, and the Ravens had to do what was best for business and bench you for a player that could get it on defense in Darius Washington and now Malachi Starks, who probably will play a lot better than you. So this excuse is just some BS, and I just think that you just couldn't get it. Your career on the Ravens was plagued with injuries. I'm sorry that happened, but it's just not an excuse to say, "Oh, I blame the coaching for the lost in coverage," when we literally saw it on the film, in game, that you were just lost. Yeah, go to what was, and the Ravens did what was the best for the team. If you really wanted to still contribute, go to the film room. Former football players, current football players, comment down below and just elaborate more on that for me, please. So moving on to a much lighter topic, ESPN has ranked in the preseason Ravens over the Eagles. We are number 1 on the ESPN rankings. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. The ESPN is finally catching on that the Ravens on paper are the best team in the NFL. addressing the holes in the training camp with the competitions with the kicker and the offensive line. All for that. I've said that in previous videos. Those are the only things that I'm really worried about and looking forward to, and the pass rush. But again, I feel like the Ravens are going to address this very well, and we have just the most complete team now. Once we figure it out, the offensive line and pass rushing and the kicker competition, we are going to be golden for the season. We are going to be great for the season, and love the fact that ESPN has came out and said the Ravens on paper have the best team in the NFL. We have the best defense, we have the best offense, and 100% agree with this. I think the Ravens are the best team in the NFL on paper, and I've said that many, many times, and I will stand by it. Moving on to a little bit of a trade rumor that's roaming around here. I believe this has been mentioned already before, but Chris Olave to the Ravens is a rumor that's been going around. I believe I mentioned this earlier. If I have not, we're going to dive into it a little bit here. Is that, the Ravens can't do wrong with getting another wide receiver. I don't think it's the number one priority for a potential trade. And I think that going after, a pass rusher or another corner would be nice, something on the defense to bolster the depth. But, if it's Chris Olave, it's Chris Olave. I can totally see the Ravens, getting something for him for dirt cheap and kind of, revitalizing him a little bit. I don't think there's going to be anything that transpires because of this. I don't think, a team I don't think this is going to happen. But imagine if Chris Olave does, put on the purple. I think that's fantastic. The more the merrier at this point. But I don't think this is happening. We're just addressing the rumors as they come around, and we're just going to. It's speculative right now. If any he does pick up because of this, I will keep you all updated. But again, speculative right now. We're just addressing the rumor. Lastly, and this is more of a fun one for me. So, Grok the AI predicted the Ravens record for this upcoming season. He had the Ravens 14-3. Only 3 losses. To the Chiefs, to the Vikings, and 1 to the Bengals. He had us winning that Bills game the week 1. Love that. I'm only addressing this because the only thing I have against it is that I believe if we are going to lose, it's going to be because of the Chiefs, and it's going to be because of a stupid reason. Not like a toe tap or anything. It's just it's going to be a controversy surrounding something else. Everyone here knows what I'm talking about. So I believe that the Ravens will beat the Vikings and will beat the Bengals. And there was something floating around about them losing to the Packers. That's going to be that. The Ravens will beat the Packers. I think that the Ravens, if anything, at our best, are going to be, a 16-1 team, or like a 17-1 team. Like one loss, 16-1. So at our worst, we're going to be 13-4. We're not going to be 12-5 again. But again, as Ravens fans know, the Ravens tend to get in their own way and lose games in a stupid fashion. I'm hoping that this season, with with the draft, with the offseason, everything that has happened in these last couple months, that the Ravens are aware of this and that they've cleaned up everything, and hopefully that they're just gonna come in guns blazing and then make the adjustments that they need in order in middle of the game too, in order to get out of their own way. It may not look pretty, but who's got it better than us? So we'll have to wait and see as this regular season rolls on. Thank you for tuning into Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will catch you all later.